We'll start with a new topic called work, power, energy. So here actually we need to understand what is work, what is power, and what is energy. Now here actually, whenever we say that actually we have done some work, suppose if I move this pen from here to here actually, then I say that I am done. So I have done some work. Suppose if I move from this location to this location, then I feel that actually I have done some work. So in all these criteria, whatever we notice, there are two different aspects actually that are contributing to the work. The first one is you need some force. We need force to move the body from one location to another location. One location to another. So we need to apply some force if at all you want to move one particle from one location to another location. And then actually due to the application of this force, so there is a displacement that is going to be resulted. So displacement will result due to the application of the force. Here, whenever there is a force, then the force actually if you apply on this, then this is going to move in one particular direction. Let the displacement vector is x bar, let the force vector is f bar, and the component of the force which is contributing to this movement is only this directional force. So this is nothing but f cos theta, and this is the displacement, and the product of these two, we say that it is work. So that is f cos theta into x, or fx cos theta, or f dot x. So this is what is called work. So in the case of work, there are two components. One is the force, another is the displacement. The product of these two actually we say that it is the work. Why? Because suppose if I move this pen for 1 kilometer, then actually I say that I have done some work. But in moving this pen from one location to another location, then I might have applied very less force. Suppose if I say another case, suppose actually I have taken, so I wanted to move the car from one location to another location, but only for 10 meters. So this actually is for 1 kilometer, and the car is for only for 10 meters. Now in the case of car, we will be applying more force to move only 10 meters. And here we are applying lesser force and we are moving to 1 kilometer. Now here actually 1 kilometer means 1000 meters. But let us say I have applied only 1 Newton force in moving this pen from one location to another location. So that is of 1000 meters. So 1000 into 1, that is 1000 joules of the work I have done. So the unit of this work is joules. So this is also called as force into displacement. So this is Newton meters also we can call it. Now here, so the work, right? So which is always the product. So let us say small body moved for 1000 meters, then the work is going to be 1000 into 1. So this is the application of the force is equal to 1. So in this case, it is 1000 joules of the work. But in case I moved only 10 meters, but this is a car, and I applied a force of 100 newtons in moving this, then actually the work is again 1000 joules, because here 100 newtons multiplied by the displacement of 10 meters, it is again the 1000 joules. See this? So due to the application of more force, you have done more work. Due to the application, so due to the movement of more distance, even then also we have done more work. So in both the cases, actually, if you notice, the work whatever we have done is equal, though we moved only 10 meters here and 1000 meters here, because the force of application is different. So this is what we call as work. So work means we ourselves doing certain thing, or actually not only the human beings. Suppose actually suppose let us take one particular case. Let us say one big iron ball, let us say we are keeping on top of our head, and that ball actually pushing our body downwards, or actually we almost fall down. On top of that, the ball is actually fallen. Now in that case, if you notice, the ball is doing work on us. See this? If we lift the ball upwards, then actually we say that actually we have done some work. But if ball is moving our body, then actually we say that actually the ball is doing the work. Now here actually whoever is doing the work is applying the force to move the body from one location to another location. So that is nothing but the work. Now work and energy are equivalent. So which essentially means that now if you do the work on your body, so you are doing the body, then against a restoring force, if you do the work, then actually there will always be a energy that is going to be stored in that body. That means here, suppose actually if I lift this pen from the ground to this particular location, now in moving this body from ground to this location, I have done some work. But this work, whatever I have done, is against some restoring force. Against some restoring force, meaning there is the weight of this body always acting downwards. So that is, suppose, so this is the block. Now mg is always acting downwards, but I wanted to lift this ball to a level high. So this is actually you are applying the force against this one. Now this is actually always acting downwards. So you need to do the work against this mg. So we need to do the work against the weight. Now if you do this work, because actually you are moving the ball or you are moving this block from one location to another location, hence you have done some work. Let us say you are lifting this for a height of h. Then the force against which whatever we have done is, so you need to compensate this force and then I will move it. So the force that you need to apply is of mg, because you need to compensate this and move it. And then actually you moved a displacement of h. So force into displacement will result into, so this is F into D, so will result into, so this is mgh. So this is nothing but, so this is the energy. See this, we have done some work, and that work we are treating this as energy now. Actually what we have done is the work, but why we consider this as energy is, as there is a restoring force always. Now if you leave this body, then automatically it falls down. That means suppose if I take this pen and if I lift to this height, if I leave it, then automatically it falls down. Now to move from ground location to this location, I have applied my own energy and then actually I moved this body to this location. But when I leave it, it is not asking for any work from me, or actually it is not asking for any energy from me. It automatically wanted to go down. But how it has got the ability to move automatically from this location to the groundward? So here actually the ability what it acquired due to the work whatever I have done against the weight, that ability is called as energy. It means the work whatever we do is converted in the form of energy. So that energy is stored in this particular body in the form of potential energy in this particular case. So this potential energy is always willing to give it back, hence actually it will go down. So it wanted to reduce to the zero position, so then actually it will go stable. So here actually you need to understand this work energy theorem. Work energy theorem, what it states is, the work we do against a restoring force is converted into the form of and the work and energy are equal. work and energy are equal. See, whatever the work I do, it will be converted into the form of energy, and that energy is stored on this particular body. And then actually there is one important principle. The body is always stable when it has got the least potential energy. So this was asked once in the mains. So here actually, suppose if I leave this pen actually automatically falls to the ground and it stays there. It won't go further. Why? Because that is the position where this pen can acquire the least potential energy. Suppose if this is a kind of shape, then if you leave a ball here, now here actually it will come to this particular location and then actually it will stay here itself. And it won't go further also. Even if it goes, it comes back to its original position to this particular location. Now this is the only position actually it stays as it is, or it stays stable. Why? Because if you notice from any ground level, this is at a height of h1 and this is at a height of h2. Then if you take any random location, let us say h3, then the potential energy at this particular point is mgh2, and potential energy at this particular position is mgh3, and the potential energy at this particular point is mgh1. So here mgh1 is the only position where it can get the least possible potential energy, hence actually it will stay here. So it won't go further, it won't go up also. Even if it goes due to its kinetic energy, it will come back. So that is why actually the least potential energy is the point where the body will stay stable. And it's not for the kinetic energy also. So the energy is of multiple forms. First, actually, we need to understand one fact that work and energy are one and the same. That is the work energy theorem. Work we do and the energy is stored in this. The amount of the energy that it has got is exactly equal to whatever the work we do. So that means if I lift this body to this particular location, so I have done some work. The same work is stored in the form of energy on this particular body. And as time comes, actually it automatically wanted to give that energy back. So always the body is stable only if it has got the least potential energy.